What's up, everybody? Jex here, and you are tuned into episode number 2 of the Suburban Paranormal podcast. Definitely glad you guys are tuned in. Want to go ahead and don't forget to mention that we are brought to you by the Cinescape Media Network. The Cinescape Media Network, we have a few shows going on. The one you are tuned into now, the Suburban Paranormal actual show series that we'll get into in a little while. We also have the Cinescape podcast, of course, which has started this whole network. It's been around for 3 years and continuing to grow. And then also our new show coming on, starting on February 10th, we have Mixtape Radio. So definitely be sure to tune into that. That's going to be a great show. Mixtape Mondays, I believe they're going to be released at 7 a.m. But go over to Cinescape.media and you can get that information for sure. And definitely check out all the upcoming news and fun, exciting stuff happening with us. So again, this is episode 2. Got just a couple things that we want to go over today and get some more feedback from you guys to continue making this show as great as we can. So the first thing, we do have a little bit of news with some shows going on. We have 2 new ones actually coming out. So the first one we have is called Most Haunted Places in America. This is coming out on everybody's favorite platform. Not favorite. The favorite platform of Netflix. We have a show that is going to be a docuseries. Pretty much we don't have much other than Ron Howard and Brian Grazer from Imagine Entertainment are the ones that are creating it. I believe they brought us 98 Psycho, so maybe they'll put a little bit of that into the docuseries. Who knows? But one of the other directors, or I guess they should say, created by Ron Howard and Brian Grazer, and it's going to be directed by Joe Berlinger. Joe Berlinger over at Netflix is their pretty much their true crime guy, the main guy over there. He's brought you Ted Bundy tapes as well as Shockingly Evil. So I don't know if it's going to be dark, or we're just hopefully going to get a very well put together series. I hope to see a lot of history kind of put into the show. Being a docuseries, I would expect that. But a lot of other cool elements that I'm hoping we maybe get would be some local interviews of, say, a local paranormal group that was actually at the location and they can showcase their evidence. I highly doubt they're going to get any kind of permission from the other shows to document or, share their kind of experiences from there. But hopefully we see a good bit of history, and I really think it'll be put together pretty well. But again, I guess we'll see. So that's it for that show. The other show we have coming out is going to be on a new network called Quibi, which is short for Quick Bits. They got a lot of heavy hitters, I guess you could say, coming to this network. I believe I've seen Kiefer Sutherland and then like Steven Spielberg. So it's really interesting to see what they're going to do with this platform. They're claiming mobile only, but when it comes to mobile, if they're just kind of using a generic term, when it comes to, say, an Android operating system, you can just get an Android TV box and probably work just the same. But again, we'll see. They're claiming a mobile only platform. It is, of course, another streaming service, which means another fee, which nobody wants. So I don't know how well it's going to do. The interesting piece to it, though, is no episode. Well, I guess I shouldn't say no episode. It's touted as episodes will only be about 10 minutes, hence the quick bits. So we'll see what happens with it. I hope it doesn't limit shows, especially this one. But again, it's remained to be seen. So to get into it, Murder House Flip is basically extreme makeover. Well, I'm sorry, Extreme Home Makeover crossed with CSI. And that makes sense because this is a brainchild of the CSI producer, Josh Berman. And then you also have the Penny Dreadful producer, Chris King, as part of this as well. But they're basically taking houses where murders have occurred and they're going to renovate them and sell them. So they're pretty much trying to cash in on what I would say is two of the big major TV genres out there, where it's just, I mean, you have the whole H Home and Garden channel where it's always about buying and renovating homes. And, you know, there's how many paranormal shows out there right now. So I guess it could be an interesting cross. I'll definitely check it out one way or another. Again, I'm not paying for another streaming service, but it's interesting enough. I'll find the means to do it, whether it's a free, you know, possibly a free trial runs out there. But the show is going to feature a full cast of forensic specialists, as well as spiritual healers and high-end renovation experts. So hopefully, I guess we're going to get pretty much a little bit of history, possibly a little bit of, you know, the spiritual healers trying to help whatever possible spirits or entities, whatever you want to call them, that are still lingering around. Hopefully, they're going to show maybe a little bit of how they help those spirits, you know, cross over into the other world, as we would say. So, and then I don't know how much is going to be spent on the renovation part. I really hope very little. I'm not really that interested in that part, but again, it'll remain to be seen how much they're going to squeeze in a 10-minute period of time. So I'm curious what you guys think about this as well. Again, I'm skeptical due to the time constraints, but it's an interesting idea. I will say that. I mean, how do you not, I guess, think that's interesting? But give me your feedback on that, as well as the, you know, docu-series from Netflix. We can start a discussion. Go ahead and reach us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll get a discussion going about it, because I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion. When they do come out, I don't have release dates or anything. Doesn't seem that's, like I said, much of it wasn't available. This was just what was thrown out there recently. So hopefully we get some more information soon. And as soon as we get it, I'll share it out and let everybody know on, you know, through our social media platforms. So that's going to do it for the two new TV shows that are coming out in our wonderful world here. Now back to, I guess you could say, our realm will be the Suburban Paranormal actual edited show. We have been putting that together. That is, I know we said we were trying to get some episodes out last year. We did run into some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties being my equipment was not as good as I thought it was. And I was not just going to go and say, toss out some bad quality video that everybody can turn around and be like, oh, this is fake. Or it wasn't interesting because of the fact of bad quality. And so what we decided to just wait a little bit. Now that the holidays are over, I was able to, I have secured some wireless microphones to do it. We have a couple things for cameras as well. So we have a lot of things in the works, you could say. Hopefully, I don't want to give a 100% guarantee, but I'm hoping in a couple weeks we can get back out there and do the shows we had planned and had tried to start before we realized that the camera we had wasn't working the best way. Another thing we did want to make sure we had was permission for some of the other locations, because they're not all, some are kind of still private property. So definitely want to make sure we're not trespassing. I don't want to, you know, ruffle anybody's feathers or do anything along those lines where, you know, it makes us look bad. So we don't want to do that either. So again, the show's still coming. We just, again, wanted to make sure we had a few things in place correctly to give you a better show. So I know myself, as well as Sean and Bill, we're excited to get this together and get it put out there for you guys and to get some feedback. And, you know, when it comes to this show, so Suburban Paranormal is not just ghost. Paranormal, a lot of people think, is ghost. Paranormal is actually, as you know from watching hopefully from watching the beginning intro, It also includes UFO, or well, I guess you could say UFOlogy and cryptozoology, things like Loch Ness Monster and the New Jersey Devil, which is, we're in Pennsylvania. It's right. I think it's that way. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm kind of pointing to my left. I could be wrong, but I'm sure my wife was here. She would tell me I'm wrong. So, but again, we're looking to do more than just ghosts. It's any kind of, the urban legends, UFO sightings of any kind of, I guess, creature, you could say, the cryptozoology part. So if you have anything or you would like to see us do a show about, give us an email. You can email us at suburbanparanormal@gmail.com. Check daily. Go ahead, put show idea in the title. And then, this doesn't say, if you also have, say, somebody that knows of a haunted location or something like that you think we should check out, go ahead, send those over to us as well in an email. Just when you do it, what we need to make sure is that person is willing to let us actually come out and tell the stories or things like that. So just send over their contact information. We'll get in touch with them before we, move forward with anything we do. I know we've already had a few people reach out, so I just wanted to put it out there. If you have somewhere that you'd like us to check out, some kind of urban legends, stories, things like that, send them over, put in the subject show idea. This way we can kind of organize the emails that come in so we know what we're looking at. And it'll help us organize a lot better. So we'd appreciate that. So again, Suburban Paranormal, the series, coming soon. Lots of things in the works now that the holidays are over. So that's that. So when it comes to this podcast itself, we did have a few other ideas. So this podcast is going to be, complimentary to the Suburban Paranormal, show itself. And on here, we've reached out to some people to have some guests come on the show, whether they call in or possibly we'll have them in studio. Hopefully we'll get some good people in the studio as well. So that's coming as well. One of the other things, we're just looking for feedback. What kind of stuff do you guys want us to see or do on the show? One of the ideas we had is, we know a lot of people aren't, ghost hunters, or they go out and do this all the time, but perhaps doing something, you did capture a video or say a photo with something in the background. If you want, go ahead. We're looking to do, say, like an evidence review of people that just happen to catch it one time. They're not doing this all the time, but they happen to catch something and they're curious. So if you want to send that over to us, again, suburbanparanormal@gmail.com. Put in the subject, to help us again, if you put in the subject evidence review, that way we can filter through this kind of information quickly. But if you want to send us over, we'll give you our opinions. Like I said, we'll have guests in the studio. Hopefully we can get some opinions from them as well on, say, the picture or video that gets sent over. So that's one of the things we're looking to do. And it's another way we would like to stay engaged with you guys. And we think that would be a perfect thing to do, to stay engaged. So definitely, if you guys want to do that, let's go ahead and put that together. Another idea we were thinking about is possibly like a YouTube dive, we're calling it, quote unquote code word, I guess you could say, was the YouTube dive, where there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet. Some people doing it purposely to fake it. And then some people that are like, it could be a random person's channel with like only 2 or 3 videos. And one of them is this possible paranormal activity, whether it's a UFO sighting or, Sasquatch, which I think I saw earlier today, some Washington State, they're talking, they have proof now. So that kind of stuff we want to look at. And if you've seen something on YouTube, go ahead and send it over. We'll, put it up on the screen, hopefully, as long as we don't run into any legal issues with it. But we're looking to put it up on the screen, watch it with you, and then, give our feedback on it, let you know what we think. Because there's a lot of stuff out there. So there's plenty of stuff we can get into and talk about. And, definitely want to do interviews as well. Like I said, if we have guests here, we want to do interviews, whether we do it on the phone as well. So that could be a part of the YouTube. If you have something that's on YouTube and you want us to watch it with you on YouTube and discuss it, it's another thing we can do. whether we do it pre-recorded, because all of this is pre-recorded. So we can definitely do it and, splice it in here and there. So that's some of the ideas we've had so far. If there's anything that you guys would like to maybe see us do or have ideas, send them over, show ideas in the subject. Again, suburbanparanormal@gmail.com. And again, if you don't want to email us, I know some people aren't too keen to just emailing when there's many social media platforms that you can just direct message us. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, so you can definitely reach out to us there as well. And sometimes it's probably easier just to send a link in Facebook or whatever, whatever's quicker for you, more convenient. We want to stay engaged, so send them over. So that's pretty much going to be it. It's going to be it for this show. Again, I said I was going to keep it a little short here. Had a couple things to talk about, and then just get some more feedback where we want to continue to go and keep you guys engaged. The last thing I did want to mention before we get out of here, if you haven't been paying attention to the social medias, like I said, like, subscribe and all that, the Cinescape podcast, I am the guy that, obviously, if you listen, I'm the one behind the camera. But Sean's wife had friended someone on Facebook, and their little boy, Rowdy Ray, he's very sick. He's only 2 years old. And basically, it was a very touching story. He has a rare disease, and we've been doing what we can to, try and get his story out there. And one of the big things was that recently they had posted a bucket list, and part of the bucket list, the top thing was he's a real big fan of Frozen, and Anna being his favorite. So we put out tweets and everything else that we could do, and thanks to a very, very large effort from Sean, he was able to actually get an email from Kristen's Bell team. And if you know, Kristen Bell is the voice of Anna. She was very kind and graced the boy with like a 30-second, little voice clip that Sean had, like I said, sent over. So I know he's been thanked many times, and, I wanted to thank him as well for continuing to champion that effort and actually having that done. So if you go over to I know we've shared it on our page, the Cinescape podcast page has it, and as well as Cinescape Media. Sean had put together a video with a little bit of information about Rowdy, and also a video of him getting the voice clip and reacting to it. It'll hit you in the heart. It'll hit you in the feels. So be prepared. But definitely, the fight's still not over. We do have. I'm going to link it into the YouTube video when this goes up, and we're also going to put the link. I think I can put it in the link in the description of the podcast. So we'll put a link to the GoFundMe. If you can, please, donate. Any little bit will help. And I know the family has been very appreciative of Sean and, everybody that's been able to donate. So that's, like I said, I just want to get that out there. Sorry. So that's the last thing I got for you guys. I hope you guys continue to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, get subscribed. Find us on, like I said, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, as well as we are on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Google Music, any of the major podcast platforms out there. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope to hear from you guys soon, and we'll keep this going. Have a good one.